Hi everybody and welcome back. So today we're going to be looking at the newest kit by Smoke or Smok, however you want to say it. This is the Arcus 2 kit. It does come with the TF V18 mini tank. But yeah, let's go ahead and go down. I'm going to show you everything that it comes with. We're going to put it together and then we're going to come back up. We're going to vape on it, pros and cons. So let's go look at the Arcus 2 kit by Smoke or Smok. So here we are with the Smoke or Smok Arcus 2 kit. I do have mine in black and blue. This is going to give you some information here. This is going to give you some kit contents. Inside the box you're going to get your quality pass certificate and warranty card. You're going to get a battery safety card, making sure that your batteries are in pristine condition when using them so that you don't have any issues. And then you're going to have a user manual that will give you some specifications and additional information regarding the mod and the tank. In addition to that, you're going to get some extra O-rings and gaskets for the tank. You're going to get a Type-C charging cable. Now, I always recommend whenever you have external batteries to charge them externally, but if you need to charge it in a pinch, you do have Type-C charging. You're also going to get a spare bubble glass. Both bubble glasses are the same exact size. It holds 6.5 mils of e-liquid, and you're going to get a spare coil, which I'll be showing you. In addition to that, you're going to get the TF V18 mini tank, and you're going to get the Smoke Arcus 2 mod. As I mentioned, both glasses do hold 6.5 mils of e-liquid. You do have the standard drip tip sleeve, which comes with these tanks. You're going to have a button here. That is actually to fill. All you do is just press the button and it'll swivel back. You're going to fill down that hole, never down the center, and then it will lock into place. And then it does say Smoke here. It says TF V18 mini here. On the bottom, you're going to have 3 airflow slots. Whatever you do to one does happen to the other. On the bottom, you're going to have a fixed 510. I do not recommend those for any type of hybrid mechanical mods. And then to get into it, all you're going to do is just go ahead and unscrew the base. And when you take it out, your coil is going to come out, and you can also switch out the glass, but it is the same exact glass. Now you are going to get 2 coils with it. The one that is currently installed is going to be your single mesh coil option. This is their V18 mini mesh single coil, and this one has a resistance of 0.33 ohm resistance, and this one does go from 80 to 140 watts, but it is best between 100 and 110, and that's what it looks like. Really beefy. This one provides a lot of airflow. And then you're also going to get this one, which is also the V18 mini mesh, but this is the dual, and this one here is actually the 0.15 ohm resistance, and this one is good between 80 to 110 watts, but best at 90. And this one's got dual coils. With the dual coils, you will get a little bit less air, not too much less, but it won't be as open as this one. This one provides a lot of airflow. So we're going to go ahead and use this one here. So to install it, what I always recommend whenever you have threading like this, you're going to turn it the opposite, clicks in, then tighten it down. That way you know that it's threaded in correctly. One of the big reasons for leaking is that your coil is not threaded correctly. Another thing I'm going to do is go ahead and prime up the coil. To prime up the coil, what you want to do is you're going to drip e-liquid on anywhere that you see cotton as well as on the tip. So I'm just going to put a little bit of e-liquid right here. It just helps it prime up a little bit faster. I'm not going to put any in that one. I am going to put some in this one. So I'm just going to put a couple drops like this just to start the saturation process of the coils. It's not to fill it or anything like that. And then you're going to go ahead and screw it into the base. Once you fill this up, you want to leave it for about 5 to 10 minutes before you actually use it, because that way your coil will be nice and saturated. It won't burn out your coil. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and fill this up like this. Very easy to fill. Again, 6.5 mils of e-liquid. And you never want to let your e-liquid get below the cotton level. That's really key and very important. So whenever you see that your e-liquid has gotten below the cotton, it's time to fill it, definitely. I would gauge it by this one and then fill it, because under the cotton, it's not going to have any way to saturate. Let's go ahead and look at the device. Now this again is the Arcus 2 mod. This does have a side fire button. It says Smoke or Smok right there. On the back, it does say Arcus 2. On the bottom, it's actually going to say, it'll say designed by Smoke, and it's got some warnings right there. This does take 2 18650 batteries that are not included. So these are my batteries, and that's what it looks like down below. You can see a positive there, a negative there, and then it's also indicated in white on the doors, which is really, really good. So you're just gonna go ahead and put in your batteries like that, and then close up the door. There is no battery rattle at all, or any rattling with this device. This does have like a nice texture to it where it feels like it's grippy, but it's not like a rubber. But it's a really, really nice feel. Now this little square piece was actually QR code that they're putting on it for added safety. You do have a spring-loaded 510 right there, and this will hold up to about a 30 millimeter atomizer, depending on, you know, what you're using, but you can hold up to a 30 millimeter. Now on the front, you're actually going to have the down, the up regulatory or wattage buttons, as well as your Type-C charging port. So to turn it on, it is 5 clicks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 will turn on the device. It's going to say ARKiss 2 and give you the version. You're going to have your battery indicator as well as your percentage. You're going to have your wattage. You're going to have your resistance, your voltage, your puff counter, and your time fired or seconds fired. Every time that you fire it, that will change. Now this device does go up to a full 200 watts and it scrolls really, really fast. So you can go up to 200 watts and it does round robin back to 5 watts. So you got 5 watts to 200 watts. Now to lock just the wattage so that you don't accidentally change it, you're going to press your plus and minus at the same time. It's going to lock your wattage. So now you can't change your wattage without unlocking it, but you can still fire the device. To unlock it, you're just going to press them again, and now it's unlocked. Now to lock the entire device, what you're going to do, as well as change some of your submenus, is you're going to press your fire button 3 times. When you do, you're going to have watt mode, bypass mode, and power locked. When you choose the power locked and long press on the fire button, this will actually lock the entire device. You can't fire it and you can't change your wattage. To undo it, you're going to press it 3 times, 1, 2, 3 of the fire button, and now it's unlocked and you can change your wattage and you can fire the device. Let me go back into the menu, 1, 2, 3. So going back in here, bypass mode. Please be wary of this. I would not just go and use this mode, and I'm going to tell you why. This will fire it to the full 200 watts. There's no way to change it. There's no wattage change, voltage change, or anything like that. This will fire it at 200 watts. That none of these coils take 200 watts. So if you do that, you're going to fry them out. If you have an atomizer that doesn't go up to 200 watts, you can fry it out. So this mode I do not recommend, and I don't know why they put it in, to be totally honest with you. 1, 2, 3 will get you back into the modes. Go back to wattage. That's the mode that I recommend. Long press your fire button to make your selections. Now, if you want to change the color of your screen, I currently have it in yellow. You're going to press your up and your fire button at the same time. This will actually change it. Now I've got purple, I've got blue, green, white, red, and back to yellow. To clear your puff counter, because it does have a puff counter there, you're going to press your down and your fire button. It's going to ask you, do you want to clear your puffs? If you choose yes, it will go ahead and clear that for you. As you can see, it's now zeroed out. Now, one thing I do want to make note of, and I'm sure that you've noticed, is that it's got different percentages for the batteries here. The batteries that I'm using are currently the same exact percentage level. This device, for whatever reason, is showing it draining a little bit faster on the B battery. And it doesn't matter if you swap them out, it'll do the same thing. I think it's something within the internals that's actually showing it draining less, but it's not draining less. So I just want to make note of that, because I don't want you to think that my batteries are uneven or anything. I always charge them married, which means both of them are at the same time and they're the same charge. These did start at 100%. And it's drained while using it. It's not going to do it right when you turn it on, but as you're using it, it will show the B like 2 to 3 points under, but it has nothing to, it won't affect the vape at all. It's actually going to vape just fine. It's just the indication that's on the device is not working properly. It's not that it's draining any differently, because I have taken these batteries out, put them in another device, vape that device, and the batteries were at the same level. So this is actually just probably a display issue, to be honest with you. So here we are with the ARKiss 2 kit all put together. Let's go ahead and go on top. We're going to vape on it, pros and cons. Okay, so here we are back on top with the Arckiss 2 kit by Smoke. And yeah, or Smock. Now again, this does take two 18650 batteries that are not included. You do have to have your own batteries. It does not come with them. I get a lot of questions regarding that, and I want to make sure that you know they do not come with batteries. So before anything, I'm going to go ahead and have a vape, and then we're going to talk more about it. So currently I do have this at 85 watts, but this coil is rated between 80 to 110, best at 90. These tanks never play. Never play. These are high wattage tanks. They're meant to be vaped at higher wattages. If you usually vape around 40, 50 watts, it might not be the kit for you, at least the tank, because these are meant to be high wattage tanks. If you're vaping them regularly below the recommended, you can get sometimes some flooding of your coil, sometimes leaking, or sometimes spit back because it's not generating the heat that it needs for the wattage of these coils. And I just want to mention that because I do get a lot of questions about leaking with some tanks, and that is the reason. If you're not taking it up to the wattage that it's capable at or what it's recommended at, that can happen. For that, I would recommend maybe something that doesn't have a high wattage tank. So I'm going to go ahead and take this up to 90 watts. The recommended is 80 to 110. I'm going to go ahead and take it up to 90 and have another vape. Now this can easily go up to 100, 110. I've not had any issues with it. I've got it at 100 watts. Let's have another vape. Absolutely no issues. This thing can handle it. It does go up to the full 110. I'll take it to the 110. There we are, 110, which is the highest of the resistance range. Me personally, I like it about 90, 95. I'm going to put it on 94. That's my comfort spot or my sweet spot. That's the one that I like. That's perfect. I don't like a really, really hot vape, but I do like it semi-warm. So that's the best vape for me. I'm going to go over the pros and cons for the tank first and then the mod. Now on the tank, I love the TF V18. I love the TF V16, and this is no different. It's just in a mini version. Those are my favorite tanks by Smoke personally. Out of the ones before them, the TFV versions before them, I wasn't a fan of, but when they came out with the TF V16 and the TF V18, fell in love. Now, this does hold 6.5 mils of e-liquid. For the size of the tank for this actual mini tank, that's fine. If it was the bigger or the regular version, of course, I would want more like 8, 9 mil capacity because of the fact that it's going to drink a lot of e-liquid and it's a bigger tank. Now, don't get me wrong. This will drink a lot of e-liquid. It will because it's a high wattage tank. Whenever you're using a tank, an atomizer of any sorts, and you're using higher wattages, you're going to drain the e-liquid faster because it's burning faster. So that is just a norm. And of course, that's going to happen because you're vaping at higher wattages. Now, for the airflow, I absolutely love their airflow because they have the 3 airflow slots. To me, it makes it more rounded of a flavor. And that's in my opinion. I love the 3 airflow slots. The drip tip is my con. The drip tip is the only con that I have to this device is going to be the drip tip. I really wish that they've already gone to 810 drip tips. Even when they have the 810 with the O-rings on it that aren't standard, I like those better. The drip tip sleeve to me, you can't really go and get just another drip tip and put it on. You can purchase additional sleeves online somewhere. You would have to Google for that, or you would have to do an internet search for that. But you can get sleeves, but personally, I would rather just swap out my whole drip tip rather than to have to get a sleeve. But that's my personal opinion. Other than that, for the tank, I have absolutely no other cons. I love the 2 coils that it comes with. My favorite is actually the single coil. I do currently have the dual coil in here, but the single coil is probably my favorite one out of the 2. I usually use the single or the dual. They do have other coils out there, like the triple mesh, They have that out there if you like that one. It will restrict it just a little bit more because of the fact that you have another coil in there. With the single coil one, you're going to get a lot more airflow. It's going to make it a really, really airy vape, which is the reason why that one actually has a higher resistance range up to 140 watts, because you've got airflow everywhere. And the recommended is, I think, around 100, 110. That's because it's a high wattage coil. And I want to stress that for you, because if you're vaping at lower wattages, you're not working it to the capability of the tank or the coils. Now on to the mod. Now I do have one, and it's not really a con. I have a feeling that it's something to do with the actual display for battery B. No matter what batteries you have, when they're married and they're the same exact battery percentage for each of them, as you're vaping it, the battery percentage on battery B will always be 2 to 3% less than battery A. It's not that the batteries are less than each other or unbalanced. I think that it's the way that the display or the internals are reading that battery B. It doesn't affect any way that, or shape or form of the way that it vapes. It's just affecting it on the display. So I would definitely just keep looking at battery A, because that is going to be your most accurate reading for your battery percentage. Other than that, I have the only other con that I have to this is having that bypass feature in this. I don't recommend it. Not everybody is going to have a tank or an atomizer or an RDA with coils or RTA that is capable of vaping 200 watts. This will fire at the full 200 watts when you put it in bypass mode. I'm not going to fry out my coil to show you, but I will let you know that I tested it and it does it. It really does. So you need to be really, really careful with that, because if you have it on the bypass, it's going to vape it at 200 watts. These coils are not made for 200 watts. You will fry out your coil very, very quickly. I do like the fact that you can lock the full device, or you can choose to lock only the wattage. That is definitely a pro for me. The flavor, of course, on the tank is definitely a pro. And I love the fire bar. Having the fire bar instead of a button to push is kind of helpful in a way. It's convenient. It's convenient, and it works really, really well. It works the way that it's supposed to. Again, it does come with Type-C charging. I always recommend charging your batteries externally, because they're going to balance charge. They're going to stop when they're full, and they're not going to keep charging. In a device does not have the capability of stopping the charge. So that's why I always recommend an external battery charger, so that you have longevity of your batteries as well as your device. You're not, heating up the device or anything like that. So if you're going to use the charging port, I recommend using it just like if you're out and about and you have no other choice, or you don't have any other batteries with you. Other than that, definitely suggest having a backup 2 batteries so that you can swap them out when they're dead, or you can just wait for it. Either way. Other than that, it goes up to 200 watts. It does round robin. So it comes right back to the beginning, which I do like that function. And it's got a color display, so you can change the colors and make them yours. I personally love the yellow with the blue and the e-liquid. It just matches it better for me. But that's just my preferred. But yeah, other than that, you can clear your puffs. I know that there are a lot of you out there that like to do that. So for you guys, I think that that's great. Other than that, it's 5 clicks on, 5 clicks off. You've got the 3 clicks to get into the menu. Again, I would just ixnay the bypass mode. Just don't even use it. I don't recommend it. I really don't. Especially in a kit like this, I don't know why they put that there without having a way to actually adjust the voltage is beyond me. I don't know why they did it. Other than that, in wattage mode, it works like a beast. It's actually, that's what these are, right? These tanks and these coils are definitely beast tank and coils. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. I do like the locking feature on the tank. I did forget to mention that because I've seen it for so long. But that to me, I definitely like. I like that it locks in place. It's not one of those push slides. So that's definitely another pro. Other than that, it's a beast. It works like a beast. It vapes like a beast. It is a beast. So would I recommend it? Yes, in wattage mode only. And again, the battery indications for the percentages on that battery B, it's not really something that you have to worry about, because it's not the battery draining or the device draining the battery. It's actually just the indicator that is not it's not level or something. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. I did want to let you know about that. I'm going to go ahead and leave all the colors for these up here for you. Let me know your thoughts on this. What are your thoughts on a kit like this that has a TFV anything? These are Beastie coils. They're Beastie tanks. Let me know your thoughts down below, and I will see you in my next one.